Hey guys, so this is going to be one of the last parts of my video series on how I built the greenhouse. When I built this thing, at a certain point I needed help. I built the front wall and the back wall. I built these successfully without help, but at this point, when you're dealing with such a large greenhouse, you need help. I mean, when I built the walls, there was a day when one of the walls fell over because it was so windy. So it's best to do this with at least 2 people. So when I did the rest, I filmed it, but the person that was helping me didn't want to be on the video. So that's why I'm recording this afterwards, just so you see what I did. So basically, when you have the front wall and the back wall, like this is the back wall, this is the front wall. Once you have these standing, you attach them to the base, which you can see there. It's already in the ground, but you attach it to the base like we've shown in the video, and then you put in these long side rods like these. These are basically important for the stability. Once you have these in, it gets a lot easier. There you can see. It also is connected with like a central one. I'll show you how it looks like inside the greenhouse. There you see, it goes all the way through the greenhouse. And up there you can hook the greenhouse, the side panels like the walls and everything. You can hook them into the central rod. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. So yeah, there it's hooked in. This was really difficult because the ground where I'm building this is extremely crooked, but we somehow managed to do it. So yeah, we did the same with this side rod that's there, this long one. And as soon as you have these rods, you can then shove in the wall, the windows, the window plates. So you shove these inside, these like into the frame, and then you can take one of these. They are already in one piece, and you basically gently push them inside until you get to this point, and then you can fixate the whole window. The same is done with the upper windows. This is the window that's opening. This is pretty easy. It's you put it in outside, so this is basically unrelated to the other parts of the greenhouse. You put in this part of the window, which is only half the size of the normal ones, and then you have a spare area here, an empty area where you can put in the window. But I will show you how it looks like from the outside. So yeah, this is substantial quality. This is really nice. This is the door. I probably took a video on how I assembled the door, and then you put it in here. This is very solid. It took a little bit of hammering around until I got it in, but it eventually worked. Yeah, again, this is a little bit dirty now because of the winter, but I'll clean this up in the next days. But yeah, this is how it looks like from the outside. You can see that I glued everything very badly with silicone. And yeah, this is a very solid system. I'm in love with this system, and I don't think I will ever build another greenhouse that doesn't have something like this. Yeah, at the bottom you can see that I put weight on the base to keep it from flying away when there's a very bad storm. This thing is so secure that I don't think any storm could lift it up. And yeah, that's roughly how we built the greenhouse. The day I put this whole thing together, I tried it. I tried to do it alone, but then I was so frustrated with these side things, with these long side things. These are so difficult to handle when you are alone. So I called up a friend, and he came over and we attached this whole thing. Like, it was really, really hardcore work. I was done, like really done. But eventually we got it together, and a big problem was that the ground is so crooked. I mean, look at the terrain here. Yeah, this is really difficult crooked terrain. So the greenhouse was a little bit like crooked. So it got difficult at the top. Like when you put everything together, if the greenhouse isn't straight, the whole thing doesn't fit together. So we had to like take the wall apart again and put it together on the greenhouse. Like, we had pretty much everything together already, and then slowly build the parts upwards, and it was really hardcore. So yeah, what else? I want to show you how the window insulation looks like, because it's pretty amazing. There are screws in here which hold everything together. This is screw protector. If I would take this out, you could see a very long screw that you screw in here. Yeah, I really need to clean this up. This is the same system. You connect the corner with the wall, which is normally one piece. Again, if you have problems building this thing and getting it together, you can take it apart again and slowly build it up. But normally this should be one piece and should be attached there with these side walls being shoved in from the side. Yeah, I mean, you can see I've already been using this for a year, and it's been great. It's a great greenhouse. I really need to buy me another one soon, but you know, it costs a lot of money. Building this greenhouse cost me something like maybe 3,000 euros, so it cost me a lot. And you can only do this every few years or so, and it's a lot of work. I started preparing the ground like a year before. The ground took like at least a year, because everything looked like this, and there were roots. I mean, this is already, this part of the ground has already been worked at for like half a year, just to get to this point where it's so straight. And I'm slowly filling everything up. Towards the end you can see where I'm filling up some more parts of the garden, because like the terrain goes downwards. It's really difficult here. So I wish I could have built a bigger greenhouse, but everything needs to fit together here. It is very difficult to build large greenhouses here because the ground is so crooked, and it costs a lot more money to do everything. I had to transport all the gravel for the ground, like 60-70 stairs up, and then the cement plates that are in there. So it took like a lot of effort to build this greenhouse the way it is, and I couldn't be happier. If you look at the insulation of everything, this is extremely well insulated, and this manufacturer gives something like 10 years warranty on the panels and 15 on the aluminium. And the aluminium is so solid that you will almost certainly not have problems with it. I mean, before the aluminium breaks, a tree falls on the greenhouse, or you get like one of the panels breaks. But again, these are very thick. These are very thick Lexan panels, and they are hard to break. Well, yeah, this is it basically. This is like the rain. This is for the rain. There were additional parts where you can put like a large water can below to collect the rainwater, but somehow it didn't really fit. I was so done when I built this that I said, all right, it's enough. I just want this thing to be over with. So yeah, building process maybe 3 months, but I only built one hour a day. So I started building the windows, and I started building the door, then the walls, and then the rest, like the pushing in of the larger plates. This was the fastest part. With some help, I got that part done within 1 day. If you have help, like if you are 3 people, you can build a greenhouse like this within like a day or 2. You just have to have the ground ready. The ground needs to be straight, otherwise you have serious problems getting all the parts together. And yeah, I mean, if you buy a greenhouse, if you decide to buy a greenhouse, do yourself a favor and buy one that is really good, that has a solid system that doesn't fall apart. Before I built these greenhouses here, I had a very cheap Alibaba greenhouse, and it was a total nightmare. It was that I built this thing with my parents-in-laws and with my in-law parents, and this was a real problem for the whole family. Like, you know, you are starting to argue because the whole thing is such a trash can, and everything fell over. Nothing was really solid. Every time there was a wind, the thing blew away, and yeah, it was a real lesson. So if you ever buy yourself a greenhouse, do yourself a favor and buy a good one right away. I said to myself, I will never buy a cheap greenhouse again. And yeah, I mean, it works great. What you can do on the sides here, you can put on like a shelf that goes all the way through. I want to buy this one for this greenhouse this year, but it costs something like 400 bucks, 300 bucks, and I just gotta save some money. I mean, I'm building on all sides. I'm just busy doing like a video set for the YouTube videos for the new season, and yeah, I want to show you how the shelf looks like, because I have one in the other greenhouse. Yeah, this is the shelf. This doesn't really fit because I bought the smallest, the wrong one. I bought a used one. Like, it wasn't used, it was still in the original pack, in the original box and everything, but it wasn't for this like for this design, for this greenhouse. There are like, this one is called ORCHIDEE IV, and there's also one like 2. And the 2 is smaller than this one, so I put in like what I had, and I put it in there. For the other one, I will buy one that's the right size. Well, alright guys, there will be more videos after this one, but mostly on minor stuff, like how we did the ground and everything. So this is pretty much the end of my video series. I wish I could have filmed everything when we did everything, like the windows when we did it, but you know, I can't force someone to be in the video, and I didn't wanna like you know, do it against his will. Alright guys, so thank you for tuning in. More videos coming soon.